So Canelo Alvarez and the WBC announced that Avni is going to be the next opponent in Mexico City for Canelo Alvarez. Now, as you guys see, I'm interviewing David Morrell. I think David Morrell could beat Avni right now, this Saturday. And he's only 3-0. This is an opponent for David Morrell, not for who supposedly is pound for pound number one. So for Canelo Alvarez to be fighting Avni to defend his WBC title that was given to him, that he purchased, like he purchased the French fries belt, the witness protection belt to avoid Charlo, he did the same thing for this belt. Now, mind you, this belt, the way Canelo got it was Benavidez couldn't make the weight. Now, it's one thing if Benavidez did something wrong and he got suspended. Now, that's one thing. But for Benavidez just to miscalculate when it comes to making weight and be stripped out of the title, he currently the ranked number one. However, Canelo Alvarez got given the title. He didn't even have to fight nobody for the title. And all he got to do is to defend it against Avni, who Canelo Alvarez, according to the WBC president, Suleiman, he personally called the WBC, Canelo did, and he requested to fight Avni. He ordered the WBC to make the Avni fight. Because truth be told, Canelo is the WBC president. Suleiman is the co-president. Trey D-Lo-9 said you biased. Call in, chump. Like I said, they do anything and everything but call in, right? Says my brother through the super chat real quick. We're going to give this decaf a minute or two so he could call in. So let's give him a little time to put his area code. Like I said, if there's a decaf calling in, I will drop everything I'm doing to accept the calls. So we waiting on him. We're going to give him time to dial the number to commit suicide and call in to split decision, because it won't be split decision. It's going to be a knockout. I'm going to give him an early Christmas gift, a capital L on Christmas. Appreciate the super chats, though. Call in, D-Lo. We ain't playing with you. We ain't playing with you. See, now we taking time out of our day to address this decaf. And just like his favorite fighter, he has no cojones to call in. So I give these decafs a chance. But they don't got no cojones. They prove me right every single time. But I appreciate the love. And so Canelo Alvarez is pretty much now the WBC president, truth be told, because I don't understand how a fighter could order an organization to make a decision like that, to request a fighter like Avni to be his mandatory when Benavidez is ranked number one. Appreciate the super chat, my brother. Salute to Chris Breezy. I mean, AKHi, joking, homie. You do look like him, though. I appreciate the super chat. Like I told you guys, all they do is stay ducking. The man haven't said nothing yet since we called him out. And they just refuse to call in. So we're going to keep it rolling. Canelo Alvarez obviously now is looking to face Avni in Mexico City. But why not Benavidez? Why not Charlo? Charlo told Canelo, I'll fight you in Mexico City. Translation, he pretty much told Canelo, I got more Mexican heart than you do. Benavidez, on the other hand, he'd been calling out Canelo from the jump, and he said he's going to do everything in his power to get that fight. So why fight Avni in Mexico City? Why not fight Benavidez? Two Mexican fighters. Benavidez happened to be undefeated. Canelo happened to be one of the best pound for pound, the top five, and that's being generous to him because he's not even number one in his own division. So Canelo rather fight Avni instead in Mexico City, which is so disappointing because a lot of people really don't know Avni is coming off a loss. When was the last pound for pound ranked number one fighter in the world? When was the last time we seen pound for pound number one faces a fighter coming off a loss? For a strap, for a vacant strap. That makes no sense now, does it? Donald Banks said, if the WBC mandate Benavidez, Canelo will become the French fries champion, and Duck Benavidez like, damn, Canelo, when you going to get in a real fight? That's what I'm saying. I mean, skill recognized skill. And remember, I just talked to David Morrell right now, and he said, man, he don't know what Smith was doing. David Morrell said, I would have went out on my shield. I would have fought to defend my title. I'm going to go out like a champion. So, like I said before, Canelo, he will fight the Smith family that I never heard of in all weight divisions. Man, I'm about to change my last name to Smith. I think Charlo should change his last name to Smith. I think Benavidez should change his last name to Smith, because apparently if you in that Smith family, he gonna pick you. But when it came to the Charlo twins, he ordered witness protection. Clearly, Canelo Alvarez want to make highlights of Avni. That's pretty much his end goal. That's pretty much what's going on. But like I said, Avni should be an opponent for David Morrell, Berlanga. He shouldn't be an opponent for Canelo Alvarez when David Benavidez is ranked #1 under the WBC. That makes no sense at all. How is the fighter that's coming off a loss, that already lost on more than one occasion, becomes the mandatory when Benavidez never took an L, when he's still undefeated, when he's ranked #1, according to them? So that makes no sense at all. Obviously, though, somebody was paid off. Canelo Alvarez is pretty much the president of the WBC. But I'm going to go ahead and pick up a call real quick.
How did you choose Lomachenko? Because
I did not choose him. He requested, Canelo requested. So we sent out a vote and we analyzed his history.
Ooh, Canelo and Lomachenko requested?
Absolutely.
Ooh, you just made headlines.
Lomachenko,
You just made headlines.
Lomachenko, top rank, requested. And let me tell you, we analyzed the request. Top of the top.
Define the franchise belt. Can you define it?
The franchise is not a belt, it's not a championship, it's a designation given to elite, unique fighters who carry the industry of the sport of boxing. Canelo Alvarez and Lomachenko are two sensational fighters who carry the industry.
Ask Cameron Duncan, do Top Rank have like columns of fighters, and they say, we don't want this guy fighting the black fighter, we don't want this fighter fighting the Mexican fighter, and so on and so forth?
You're gonna get into the racial stuff, huh?
No, I'm not. I'm asking.
That's a theory there by the greatest matchmaker, probably, in my opinion, ever. And I'm not going to mention his name either, but you know what I'm talking about. And he used to have a thing up on his board, NBF, no black fighters. And when I was taught to bring up a fighter, you know, and again, it's just, he used to say to me, you can go anywhere in the country, and I'm going to leave it at this. I don't want to go into a long discussion because people are people in God's eyes, and we're all the same. He used to say to me, you can go anywhere into a city in America or anywhere in the world and ask a white guy, and he didn't say any other, he didn't say anything about Hispanic, anything. Ask a white guy to throw a jab, and half of them are going to turn backwards and throw it like a girl and everything. Ask any black man on a street corner in any city in the world, and they will snap out a jab in a heartbeat. And I used to laugh. He said, they're just more physically gifted. And he said, and so they have speed, and better to stay away from them. Nothing personal. So I said, okay. And I've lived by that. And, you know, I don't want to sound like some weird guy, but, you know, you're trying to be safe with your guys. And so, yeah, there is a thing about that, you know, but not in a bad way, in a very respectful way, you know, to be careful. So that's all.
The last man even said they doing that to protect him.
Right.
Somebody beat him, but they don't get a belt.
There you go.
The franchise belt is protect them from the big black guys.
So you would favor Devin Haney to beat Vasyl Lomachenko?